Welcome to the Astrological Weather Report, the elephant in the room. My name is Daniel Fiverson. As this new year began, I wrote, "We felt the earth move under our feet," in some cases literally, in Japan, California, China, and Indonesia. The first week of this year, Jupiter and Mercury exited their retrograde conditions and stationed direct. These powerful planetary reversals intensified the emotional and psychic dramas swirling around us. This pattern will continue and deepen as we move through the rest of January. On January 20th, the Sun and Pluto meet up within hours of Pluto's re-entry into Aquarius. On January 25th, the Leo full moon occurs. On January 27th, Uranus stations direct, initiating a 4-month period in which all the planets are moving forward until May 1st, when Pluto goes retrograde. We have already felt the intensity of this long presaged Aquarian birth. We no longer have to wonder what the age of Aquarius will be like. 2023 was the hottest year on record. It has been unfolding around us already as climate change, renegade self-mutating viruses, political antithesis, and the threats of nuclear holocaust. Aquarius can be creative and sometimes enlightened, but it all comes at the price of disruption and upheaval. The elephant in the room is the earth changes, which take precedence over whatever happens to each of us individually. On December 31st, The Guardian reported no sea ice in Antarctica, and I quote, "Antarctic sea ice cover crashed for 6 months straight to levels so far beyond anything else on the satellite record that scientists struggled for adjectives to describe what they were witnessing. Last year, recording what scientists think is the biggest heat wave ever recorded, with temperatures peaking at 39 degrees Celsius above normal. Looking ahead, a study published by Nature in March found meltwater from the continent's ice sheets could dramatically slow down the Southern Ocean, overturning circulation, a deep ocean current, by 2050 if greenhouse gas emissions continued at their current level. 2 months later, a paper by some of the same researchers estimated that the circulation which influences global weather patterns and ocean temperatures and nutrient levels had already slowed by about 30% since the 1990s. Separate research by a different team of scientists suggested that accelerated melting of ice shelves extended over the Amundsen Sea in the West Antarctica is locked in and beyond human control for the rest of the century, even if emissions are significantly reduced," unquote. On January 20th at 8:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Sun will conjoin Pluto at 29 degrees 59 minutes, the very last gasp of Capricorn. Less than an hour later, at 9:07 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Sun will enter Aquarius. Aquarius ushers in a windswept storm of renewal that interrupts and disrupts the preceding pattern of events and circumstances. The Sun will continue through Uranus's progressive and sometimes regressive agenda until February 18th. 10 hours later, at 7:56 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Pluto will enter Aquarius. It will ride Uranian air currents until September 1st, return to Capricorn until November, and then occupy Aquarius until January of 2043. Pluto transited Aquarius from March to June of 2023, so we have already tasted what is coming. Arguably, the most important event of 2024 will be the U.S. presidential election. There's a growing sense of anxiety that the sword of Damocles dangles over the future of democracy in the United States. On January 25th at 12:53 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, a full moon will occur at 5 degrees of Leo, 14 minutes. The Leo moon opposes Pluto fresh into Aquarius. We can feel uncomfortable, needing to make changes in our lives, but not quite sure how to go about it, where to begin, or what to change without losing our sense of self. Venus in Capricorn feels insecure about how personal values are being upheld and how priorities are being addressed. Jupiter in Taurus tugs at our sense of security, making us restless and unsettled. Saturn in Pisces wants to make some revisions, but is unsure how to proceed. We are reminded of something from the past that sheds light on a new creative approach. Eris embodies a sense of fate and destiny about how things are unfolding. Vesta shows us where we need to be more authentic. Asteroid Juno feels troubled by perceived infidelities. On January 27th, Uranus will station direct at 19 degrees Taurus, 5 minutes. A sense of fate and destiny hangs in the air as the ruler of Aquarius momentarily stands still and prepares to actualize a new paradigm in an edgy, emotional atmosphere. Saturn envisions the emerging standard, but the dream is still not lucid. Mercury begins articulating the new millennium's parameters, postulating possible scenarios. Venus struggles to ensure that the values and priorities necessary for a successful transition are actively expressed. All of these events share a series of common planetary conditions. All of them take place under the Sun-Pluto conjunction. The core frequency here is empowerment as the basis for self-actualization. This will have a wide range of expressions depending on the consciousness brought to the event. The spectrum ranges from efforts based on enlightened self-interest to the distortions of unenlightened self-interest. We should expect to witness or experience the entire range of celestial effects. Chiron, the lunar north node, and Eris are chained together in Aries. The implications are that the immediate and distant future presages rogue behavior with the potential for wounding and resultant healing as an ongoing process. Mercury and Mars are in close balsamic condition to Capricorn, suggesting unresolved issues regarding the integrity and veracity of mental constructs and the range of choices they elicit. Venus and Ceres are in tandem in Sagittarius. There is a need for a course correction in how we express and act on our values, especially how we nurture ourselves and others. Saturn's proximity to asteroid Hygeia is a warning sign to pay attention to the recurring patterns of mutating viral outbreaks. Proactive self-care and self-advocating for our well-being are the essential directions forward. Uranus and Sedna conjoined are both retrograde through this period as Uranus prepares to station direct. There is significant potential for accessing our higher mind and becoming more conscious as a result of the active, multi-layered planetary pressures. On January 25th, a Leo full moon will occur at 14 degrees Leo, 5 minutes. All of the above planetary conditions are embedded in this lunation. The moon's opposition to Pluto implies a balance between our emotional upheaval and the powerful outer world circumstances that must be reached. Mercury and Mars tells us that we must make more intelligent choices that reflect what is good for ourselves and our community. We are being collectively conditioned. The fifth world surges forward around us, knocking down the old paradigms. It's not just Gaia that is morphing. Our lives are front and center to the current evolutionary remodel, and we must be present and awake for self-passage. Breathe, wake up in this dream, and consciously guide it forward. Our guides and angels are sending us everything that we need. Surrender, Dorothy. Please join me on January 20th as I present a free class for Kepler College titled Metamorphosis Through Karmic Necessity, which will describe the core principles and concepts of evolutionary astrology according to the Jeffrey Wolf Green method of evolutionary astrology. This entire recording can be read. The transcript will be on my website, evolutionaryastrologer.net. Thank you for tuning in. See you at the next Astrological Weather Report.